it was meant to be the wedding of the year. The kind of event whispered about 4 months, where powerful families unite and love and status blur beautifully under crystal shades. But all it took was one tiny clerical error, one slip up on the guest list, to completely rewrite the lives of 2 women. Ava was just an event planner's assistant, unpaid, exhausted, and desperately trying to make a name for herself. She wasn't even supposed to attend the ceremony, just manage the chaos behind the scenes. But then a last-minute spreadsheet panic scrambled the seating chart. Suddenly, her name was on the list. Ava Blake, bride's partner. She tried to fix it. Of course she did. But the usher, polite but pressed for time, didn't understand. He just smiled and led her straight down the aisle. Before she could process what was happening, Ava was sitting at the altar right beside a breathtaking woman in a white gown. The bride, Eleanor Vale, daughter of one of the city's wealthiest families. Eleanor glanced sideways, her ice blue eyes widening just a fraction. "You're not Daniel." Ava felt the blood drain from her face. She wanted the marble floor to swallow her whole. "I'm so sorry. There's been a huge mistake. I was just..." But the music swelled again, and cameras flashed like a wildfire. To the guests, it looked intentional, some kind of modern, symbolic twist on a traditional wedding. Eleanor's own mother dabbed her eyes, whispering about how brave and progressive her daughter was. Leaning closer, Eleanor whispered through a tight, nervous smile, "If you run now, the press will eat us both alive. Just sit still until I can figure this out." Ava, cheeks burning with humiliation, could only nod. "Right? Totally. Bride Imposter 101. To her surprise, Eleanor let out a soft, genuine laffa sound that didn't seem to fit her diamond-cut, high society image. When the ceremony was paused for a so-called technical delay, the 2 women found themselves alone behind a massive floral arch. Eleanor stared at her reflection in a nearby mirror. "I should be marrying Daniel," she sighed, her voice heavy. "But he's already late. Maybe the universe is trying to tell me something." Ava tilted her head. Or maybe the universe just has a really bad sense of humor. "I wasn't even supposed to be sitting here." Eleanor turned to face her, her eyes glistening with something more than just pre-wedding nerves. "Do you believe in accidents, Ava? Or do you think things happen for a reason?" A small, faint smile touched Ava's lips. "I think sometimes mistakes are just directions we weren't brave enough to take on our own." That line hung in the air between them like a shared secret, a confession. Just then, Daniel finally arrived, sweaty, disheveled, and very clearly not sober. The crowd began to murmur as he stumbled towards the altar. Eleanor's perfect, poised facade finally cracked. "You're drunk," she whispered, her voice sharp. "It's my wedding, Ellie," he slurred back. "I just needed a little courage." The camera clicks grew more frantic. Ava's heart was pounding in her chest as she watched the perfect bride break silently in front of hundreds of people. "Enough," Eleanor said, her voice trembling but gaining strength. "This isn't courage. It's cowardice." Then, to everyone's absolute shock, she turned not to Daniel, but to Ava. "This woman," Eleanor announced, her voice now steady and clear, "wasn't supposed to be up here. But she's been more honest and present in the last 10 minutes than you have been in 2 years." A ripple of gasps went through the room. Daniel just blinked, confused. Ava froze, completely stunned. Eleanor smiled softly at her. "So maybe this isn't a mistake after all. And before Ava could even think to react, Eleanor took her hand. They didn't kiss. Not yet. But they walked back down that aisle together, leaving a stunned groom and a scandalized audience behind them. The air was charged with disbelief and a thrilling sense of possibility. Some guests clapped, others whispered and left in a hurry. Outside, in the warm evening light, Eleanor finally exhaled like she'd just escaped a cage she'd been in her whole life. Ava struggled to find her voice. I think I just ruined your wedding. Eleanor looked at her, a slow, beautiful smile curling at the corner of her mouth. No, you just saved me from marrying the wrong person. She paused, then added softly, maybe the guest list wasn't wrong, Ava? Maybe it was just ahead of its time. In the weeks that followed, the tabloids went insane. Runaway bride finds love with mysterious woman at the altar. Eleanor never denied the stories. Neither did Ava. They started meeting quietly first to talk about the media chaos, then about their lives, their dreams, and soon about everything. The connection they felt was undeniable, like that one bizarre day had opened a door neither of them even knew was there. Months later, Eleanor invited Ava to dinner, not at a grand estate, but on a small, private rooftop decorated with fairy lights and filled with the smell of takeout. As Ava arrived, Eleanor handed her a small envelope. Inside was an RSVP card. On it, in elegant handwriting, it read, Guest of honor, Ava Blake. Seat beside the bride. Ava laughed. Then she cried, and then she kissed Eleanor softly. Finally. And this time, there was no mistake at all. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more content just like this. We'll see you in the next video.